Hello, welcome to this presentation about the Bloomz app, the only app you will ever need to unify all communications across your district, schools, classrooms, sports teams, clubs, PTA, staff groups, and more. The best way to introduce Bloomz is not necessarily that we have been winning the best app recognition every year for the last 3 years in a row, or that we have teachers in over 25,000 schools using our app that's already with 4 million plus users. But here is one educator who has done an extensive research of all the different apps that are out there and found Bloomz to be the next generation most complete app to engage today's modern parents.
The way that teachers communicate with parents has changed. Hi, my name is Jessica Meacham, and I teach first grade in Door County, Wisconsin. Honeybees live in groups. I knew that I wanted a parent communication app, and I knew that there were several different options, but I just wasn't sure what the options were. So I set out to actually download all of the apps, compare them, use them. I chose the Bloomz app after an extensive research process. I wanted it to be an app that was readily available on lots of different devices. I wanted it to be a web-based app. I wanted it to be free for both teachers and parents. And as soon as I take a video or a picture and share that information with parents, they receive an instant text message or an email or an in-app notification. Those notifications that parents get, those are conversation starters at home. Bloomz has some unique features that other parent communication apps don't have. The conference scheduler is a huge time saver, not only for parents but teachers. Bloomz also allows me to ask for parent volunteers for special classroom activities. It also allows me to schedule events on our classroom calendar, in-app video support, student timelines, student behavior tracking, where I can share out positive behavior information with parents as to how the student's day is going. Bloomz is the most complete app out there for teachers. It's secure and it has everything that I need to effectively and efficiently communicate with parents.
And anyone out there can find this incredible research online by just Googling it. The parental engagement is in fact the number one factor for children to do well, because the research also clearly corroborates that there is up to a 2.4 GPA impact on a scale of 4 when the parents are highly engaged. 2 decades ago, schools introduced the one-way communication through blogs, emails, robocalls. And as the technology has evolved and mobile penetration has deepened among the parents, there were a plethora of apps that every teacher out there started picking up and started using it. While these apps have made a difference to those classrooms, the same point apps also led to a bigger problem. The teachers ended up using 5 to 12 different apps. It causes a lot of distress on the teacher side. On the administrative side, it's a huge problem because now there is no access to any of those records, there is no oversight, and the security of the data and privacy of the data is at risk. But the more important problem is that the parents, how many apps can they download? Getting parents onto a single app itself is a challenge. In fact, my wife and I, we were 2 such parents that were similar boat 6 years ago when I fell sick for an extended period of time. And it was time for us to do something to address this for our own needs, but we realized that millions of others are also in the same boat. Introducing Bloomz, Parental Engagement 3.0 platform, where we have taken the best aspects of all other point apps and technologies from the past, but we gave the control to the teachers, to the administrators, to the district, so that you are in control of these communications. We are social-like platform, we're not the social media platform. The 3 core pillars that make up Bloomz are, first, the connect pillar. Here, we integrate with your existing data and make sure that every stakeholder is connected from day one. And in the process, we overcome the technology barriers through access through apps, desktop, text, email, robocalls. Then the next thing is that we facilitate interaction through various group types so that you eliminate the interaction barriers. And then finally, we eliminate the language and cultural barriers by translating two-way across 104 languages. So the next bucket that we focus on once we connect all the stakeholders is to streamline the communication. And we believe, again, one size does not fit all when it comes to school communication and district communication. We have ability for you to send one-on-one communications, two-way communications, and we have difference between alerts and regular updates. And we also have the student-specific communication like student portfolios and behavior management. The next bucket we focus on is not only bringing these people online, but also bringing them offline. So in the coordination bucket, we allow you to integrate your existing calendars, whether it is Google or Outlook calendars, simply plug in any iCal calendars within Bloomz, as well as you can create calendars and events right within Bloomz and ask for RSVPs. You can schedule volunteers, you can ask for signups of the items, parent-teacher conference scheduling. This is a platform that is continuously evolving, and we see this adding more and more tools. Essentially, Bloomz becomes your one-stop shop for your entire district. You can cater to the needs of childcare, to elementary, to middle school, to high school, and also PTA, PTO, as well as other ancillary groups like bus routes, sports teams, clubs, and so on. Really one-stop shop for your entire district while catering to the needs of each of these educators and groups in a very specific manner. In essence, Bloomz is the one platform that can get rid of many point apps at your district and bring it all together in one platform. No wonder we are demonstrating significant engagement from the end users. Like 40% of our users come back on a daily basis onto these platforms. When you look at districts and schools that have seen tremendous results, here is a school when they unified on Bloomz after using a bunch of other point apps. They have seen 300% jump in parent participation. Instead of those traditional 5 parents that come to the PTA, PTO meetings and participate, now they have over 15 parents coming in. Here is another school fought against the district to get Bloomz approved, and now they are seeing close to 10x return on their investment. Now let's get into the demonstration of the product to connect the dots for you. In Bloomz, with a single account, you can play a complex set of roles. In this case, I could be a district administrator where I see all these schools underneath my account, or I could be a parent with multiple of my children going to different schools. And here, as you can see in my account, I'm part of multiple schools, I'm part of multiple classrooms, I have childcare rooms, I have camps, I have troops, I have sports teams, groups that include like bus routes, clubs, and so on. Even though I'm part of multiple groups, I can simply click on Show for All Groups view and get all my updates in one place. The same app instantly adapts to the mobile web, but we also have the native apps for the mobile on both iOS and Android devices. Click and you will see all the tools that are at your fingertips. You expand to see the menu. Again, full functionality is available on all the mobile platforms as well as on the desktop. And as I scroll in the center of the feed, I have important announcements coming from different color-coded communities here. There's Immaculate Conception School right here. You also have important updates from the event calendars. This can be a linked calendar as well as events that you create right within Bloomz across all of them, again color-coded. Below that you have the regular update. In this case, this community, which is my son's classroom, they have enabled parent-to-parent communication. That's why I see other parents to join. That can be turned on or off depending on the needs. As I scroll down, I see other updates coming from various schools. And if I'm not comfortable in English, and if I'm not a native English speaker, I can simply tap here. I can now translate into my preferred language, in this case, Hindi. Now, not only that, I have this ability to receive this communication in my preferred language. If I have a question back, I can simply click on private reply and I can type in Hindi and let the other person translate it back into English, and she and I can have a back and forth dialogue. Click on the create, you will see the rich set of tools. Depending on your roles and permissions, you will see the appropriate tools enabled. The first 3 options are about sending broadcast communications that you can reach entire district or specific set of schools or classrooms. The post is the regular update. announcement is the important update that gets pinned at the top of the feed. Alert, on the other hand, is the time-sensitive, last-minute emergency communication that must reach people, and that's why it overrides users' notification preferences and sends through text, email, app, robocall, and desktop as well. The next three tools are student-specific communication options. So in this case, portfolios, students can create their own accounts, or teachers can do it for the younger kids. There is a workflow that can be configured. You have the behavior option that allows you to capture the behavior for the individual students or as teams. For the younger childcare like scenarios, you can keep track of their feeding times, the potty times, the nap times, and so on. The next three options are specific to the calendar and the coordination. To link existing calendars, but you can also create events, you can ask for volunteers, and you can schedule parent-teacher conferences or schedule office hours with students. You can create either post or an announcement or alert right from this quick menu. And all of them provide you a rich set of tools. You can choose from either drafts or templates or create new to send to entire set of communities or specific set of classes or even to the specific audience. Choosing the school, you can then further choose how you want to target based on the roles. There's lots of configurability in terms of how you want to send your message. Of course, you can attach photos or videos. You can also record audio and send it. You can attach files. You can turn on the robocalling for the district or school-wide communications. Optionally block comments. Publish this to your social media channels as well as your website. In addition, Bloomz also gives you the ability to configure. Maybe if you have certain audience with Spanish, then you want to go and then choose the Spanish version of the emails and templates and then customize it. By default, it gives you a translation. If you don't like this translation, you can further tweak it. Similarly, you can record a new audio, a Spanish-speaking audience. You can customize what gets sent in the text message. It also auto-saves as a draft. Every teacher in their classroom can go under the edit settings, turn on or turn off like behavior, portfolios, even parent-to-parent communication. And specifically, the student access can also be controlled, starting from those early grades where you don't have any student access to a shared student access in an early elementary mode to individual account. Once you have decided on your student access level, portfolios can be used either by the students or by the teachers to create and add to the student's ongoing portfolio. In this case, I'm starting as the teacher. I can choose for the specific students that I would like to attach this to. Or if the student is starting this one, they would have their own access code that they would use to sign up, either in the shared account or individual account. They can attach any photo. So you can upload a picture of the work and they can annotate, they can color code using different colors at the bottom. They can also add voice to their submission. Essentially, now this becomes a recorded video. Of course, students can also take a live video or attach files. You can leave comments. And if the student submits it, there is a workflow that can be configured with teachers approving the workflow. In Bloomz, the behavior is more advanced than any other app out there. We not only have individualized themes that can be configured for each class. For example, this class has eggs hatching into monsters, whereas this class has flowers and pots. Finally, you can also have for the high school scenarios where you can customize to have kids having their own photos. We have individualized goals. There's also a class goal that allows you to set up to motivate the entire class to achieve a common goal. You can also create teams. You can of course project this in the full screen. In fact, we gamified so that the kids are motivated to earn the positive behavior points. This egg will hatch into a next character. The only way the child will know is to earn all the positive points to get to the next milestone. Assigning points, you can do it in multiple, or you can also do one at a time. Let's say this child has demonstrated caring. Now, So this is a new character. Depending on the configuration the teachers have chosen in the settings, the parents will get notified at the end of the day or not. And not all parents have to be notified as well. And parents have instant visibility, once allowed, to full information of their child's behavior. This can be sliced and diced in different ways. In this case, there's 94% positive. If I need to analyze further what needs improvement, I can click here. I can see quickly the analysis. The same behavior module quickly turns into an activity module in case of a childcare. So it looks and feels similar, but in this case, when I pick a child, now it turns into feeding times, the potty times, the nap times, and as well as reminders for those diapers and formula and so on. As well as you can customize and add other learning activities. Again, one beautiful way to put all the information that your parents are looking for in one place. To link an existing calendar, you simply need to go to your school or class page and choose your calendars from the settings. You can link existing Google or Outlook or any iCal supported calendars. Plus, you can create events right within Bloomz. Our event creation tool is even more powerful because it includes not only multiple ways to repeat and reminders and RSVPs, but also includes the ability to request sign-ups as well as people for those back-to-school nights or Christmas parties and whatnot. With the color coding that matches your group color, it makes it easy to understand what events go to what groups. Plus, you can switch to different views, the week view, the day view, or the list view. Getting those volunteer signups or those items that you need for either your classroom or maybe for the party that you're organizing for the entire school, this PTA is using the same app, and we can see this is a live example of every item being signed up by the parents. A truly engaging platform to drive higher participation. Simply start here, ask for either the items, and you can keep adding any number of items. Or similarly, if you need people to help you with either setup or tear down, you can add that and then click on next and pick more details. You can request for which event. This is, let's say, back to school night, and set a date and time, and you can also remind them. You can then assign it to, again, whichever classes. You can assign only to the parents. If it is an athletic club and you want only students to sign up for this event, then you can also send only to the students. A truly engaging platform to drive higher participation. Scheduling that upcoming parent-teacher conference or that office hour session with your students. You simply pick your class name, just add the dates. Typically, conferences are done across multiple days, so I can add as many days. And start time to end time, these are all configurable. And if you are doing the whole days, you can also do it the beginning and the end. And then here, you can break for the lunch if you're doing the whole day. You can configure all these time slots like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, break in between. Now you can also keep the signups private, and for those middle and high school scenarios where you're doing parallel sessions, you can also maximum signups maybe 3, 4, and click on next. Boom, it generates all the time slots based on the settings. And on top of it, you can further edit. Maybe some of those days where you have a staff meeting, you can take them off of your available list. You can also add an extra slot if you want. Now you can assign this parent-teacher conference to the entire class, or maybe first you open up to the parents with siblings first and give them the first preference, and then the next day come back, edit it, and then invite the rest of the class. It's as simple as that. Now the parents will simply pick the appropriate slots. They will see it right here. As the organizer, I can also sign up other parents ahead. As an administrator, you have complete visibility into every conversation that happens in your entire school. The same thing for district leaders. Here, I'm an administrator of the school. I simply need to go to the manage section to find all the classes. And if I wanted to see what's happening in Miss Cassandra's classroom, click. I can see everything of this classroom, including the feed and signups. I can see the calendars, I can see photos, media, but I can also see the private threads, including those that are deleted between the teachers and parents or teachers and students. So in one tab, I have access to all the information, and this is also accessible completely through the mobile as well. You will be able to integrate with your existing data of your districts as well as schools through Clever, through bulk files, as well as some direct integrations. In other words, on day one, we want to make sure that all your stakeholders are connected through text, through email, through robocalls, through app, through the desktop, so that your adoption jump starts from day one. In addition, the onboarding as well as the ongoing support is our responsibility. And this means not only for the teachers and administrators, but also for the end users like the students and the parents can reach Bloomz directly through the app or through the email, and they will get premium line of support. Plus, you will have access to the leadership for any escalations. And finally, we want to make sure that when you get on Bloomz, you have complete visibility into your usage reports. At the minimum, it helps us to really optimize the adoption of the system. You will know who's using by group, by features, by timeline, which teachers are using what features right from your dashboard. Using this, we can work with you to make sure that you are getting significant return on your investment by increasing the adoption. Thank you.